chag. All right? Because that is what you say during Hanukkah. And today marks the first day of Hanukkah 2020. And I know this. And I know this because I have a Jewish friend, who's named Sam. And Sam and I have the same birthday, which is interesting if you are somebody who finds things like that interesting. And we were also roommates for a time. So it was me, and it was Sam, and it was her French canine, who's called David. And David liked to sprint into my bedroom and pee on my bed. But besides that, he was a great roommate. And she was a great roommate. And for a time, we lived together in relative harmony. But then, I met a beautiful Pisces woman. And this was before I really understood the volatile nature of Pisces-Gemini relations. Not that I really believe in any of that shit. But in our case, our story unfolded pretty accurately, according to how our chart fucking thing said it would. So I had to go to Sam, and I went to Sam and I said, Sam, I'm moving in with her. I'm leaving this place, and I'm moving in with her. And Sam said, What do you mean you're moving in with her? And I said, Sam, I'm moving in with her. And she said, Are you talking about that girl that you met 3 weeks ago? And I said, Yes. I'm moving in with the girl that I met 3 weeks ago because that is a good decision. And it was a good decision because at the time all I could hear in my brain was something similar to my intro music. So my brain was just going all the while Sam is trying to cut through the noise with her reasoning. So she's like, okay, but did you consider what? I was just wondering if you thought about and eventually she just had to submit and say, good luck, bro. And I was like, what do you mean, good luck, bro? You don't even understand. We're in love. She was like, okay, do what you got to do. So that's what I did. I did what I had to do. And I moved in with her. And for a time, it was great. For the rest of the time, it was us kind of just sitting around, doing everything we could to not throw blunt objects at each other's heads and coat the apartment floor in thick, viscous blood. And then we imploded like a dying star. And now I'm alone. The end. Good night. But happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. I am not Jewish. I'm not. But who knows what the future holds? Because I'm sure Charlotte York never expected to be Jewish. But then she met Harry, and she made the transition. So maybe that can happen to me. Although, as great of a guy as Harry is, I think that somebody like Aiden or like a Smith Jared would be more my speed. And Charlotte is my least favorite of the squad for sure. She's she's terribly politically correct all the time and just doesn't seem like she'd be a good hang. Next would be Miranda, because she's very driven, and she's very independent and has a cool kind of no nonsense thing about her. But she also has a very holier than thou kind of air about her, and she's also by far the worst dresser. And then I think it would be Samantha, who kind of has a similar pretentiousness as Miranda, but she owns it, and she's unapologetic about it, and she's very, very in touch with her sexuality, and has this kind of carnal, like, lust for life that I would like to implement a little bit more of in my life. But I don't want it to lead me down any crooked paths, like the one for her that led to Richard, who is the worst guy ever. And then my favorite is Carrie, because she's a great writer. She has impeccable style, very charming. And my mom really likes Sarah Jessica Parker's shoe line. But Carrie's kind of an asshole. And they're all assholes. And really, sitcoms are centered around assholes, typically. Like Sex and the City. They're all assholes. Seinfeld. They're all assholes. Frasier. Assholes. The Office. Assholes. Friends. Assholes. There's a really great video on YouTube, which is Friends without the laugh track. And when you watch a scene from Friends with no laugh track, you realize it's just a bunch of people being assholes to each other. It's really funny. Anyways, all that to say, I don't think I'm going to be converting to Judaism, but you never know. One time, in freshman year of high school, my class was learning about the Second World War. And we were watching a video about Nazi Germany, and a young Jewish woman was being interviewed. And somebody in the class decided to yell, "Hey, that looks like Taylor!" And the entire class proceeded to look at me and start laughing hysterically, including the teacher, which I found to be incredibly disappointing, especially given the material that we were covering and the sensitivity of it. So he was laughing. The whole class was laughing. There was a girl in the class who I had a really big crush on, who I kind of, for a time, thought that I had a chance with. But then I saw that she was laughing harder than anybody. So that was a running joke for the rest of the year, that I resembled a lanky Jewish woman. So that was fun for me. Interesting how these things stick with you, these seemingly small things, but when they happen in those formidable years, they stick with you. So whatever, man. Switching gears. I want to say thanks to everybody listening who purchased Angeline from my website at taylorjohnwilliams.com. Angeline is the new album, and the response has been really, really great, and I've really appreciated your messages. Nobody seems to hate it yet, and I'm really glad that Angeline is doing something for you, because she certainly didn't do anything for me. You know? I actually found her. I found her on Instagram. And it was very, very easy. So to call it cyberstalking would be hyperbolic. So let's just all pump the brakes. But I did find her. And I got to say, as stunning as she is, and she is stunning, she makes some odd choices with her content. She kind of does the whole like a incredibly revealing picture with the caption of self-written poetry, and it's always about like how she's this, but don't be fooled by that because she's also this. Because I guess she's very complicated. There's nothing wrong with revealing photographs. If you want to share your body with the world that you're proud of, then do it. There's nothing wrong with writing words about yourself that feel empowering or that you think might inspire your reader. That's all great. It's just that shifting from looking at the crack of your ass to a line about how you're just as full of fiery destruction as you are of fiery affection. It's just an awkward transition for the brain to make, and sometimes the wires can get kind of crossed, and you're looking back and forth between these two sentiments, and you're like fiery ass crack, fire ass crack destruction. Fiery ass crack destruction? No, that can't be right. And then you get all twisted up and it's just a hot mess in your head and you don't know what you're looking at anymore. So you just throw your phone at the wall and you take a nap. But I'm not trying to cast stones because we have all made questionable choices with our social media posting. For sure. I've done it many times. I'll never forget when I first made a MySpace, which I guess was my first. That was my introduction to social media, the social media world. I think it was probably for most people. I can't recall if there was anything that existed before MySpace that was similar, but in any case, I made a MySpace and I posted my first picture, and it was a picture that I took of myself, kind of looking off into the distance. And I took the picture and I thought, I look handsome in this. Isn't that great? I look handsome, so I'm going to post this picture. And what I should have done is I should have just posted the picture. But instead, I wrote a caption that said, "Caught off guard," because I wanted to imply that somebody else had taken the picture and I just happened to look handsome because it's just natural. And so I remember I had this picture and I wrote the caption and I posted it and I was like, awesome, I'm going to get some nice things said to me. And I received one comment and one comment alone. It was from an older girl at my high school. And the comment read, "First of all, you took this picture. Second of all, you look like a giraffe." And that was it. So that was the very first comment on the very first thing that I ever posted on social media. And her words have been branded onto my brain. And they will forever remind me that I'm just a lanky giraffe bullshitting my way through life. But it's all good. I'm still young. I've got time to correct the course of this ship. Or maybe I don't. Who knows? Maybe I'll be killed by a murderer soon. And then I won't have to worry about writing the course of the ship. That'll be up to my second in command, who I trained to the best of my ability. But it was tough because he was very easily distracted, and it was one of those unpaid internship, kind of things, and his parents forced him into it, so he had no motivation, and he was just on his phone the whole time. And he's going to run the ship into a glacier while trying to figure out how to, because he's drunk, and he's trying to figure out how to airdrop a picture of his Johnson to the pretty girl below deck. You know what I'm... And he's drunk because I left behind my cases of Lagavulin 16 year. So he's got that thick Scottish, that robust Scottish liquor flowing through his veins. He's making all sorts of shit decisions. And he crashes into a glacier and everybody dies. The end. All of my stories have happy endings. But I tried to warn him about drinking too much. He's too young. He's too young to understand. But I know. And I know that the first step, and really this could be the only, this is the primary step, is just don't buy alcohol for yourself. Just don't do it. If you need a break, don't buy it. That part's easy. That part's easy for me. For example, okay, I'm at Trader Joe's. Go figure. And I've got my Bluetooth headphones in. And I'm listening to classic spy music because, for reasons that I might explain in a later episode, I like to listen to classic spy music when I grocery shop. So I've got my music, and I've got my sanitized cart, and I've got my shitty attitude because I don't like grocery shopping, even though I understand that it is an immense privilege to be able to grocery shop. I get it. And I try not to take it for granted, but it's just a thing that I don't like to do. So I got all that. And then I get my chicken thighs and my zucchini and my spinach and my onion and my 4 sweet potatoes, eggs, half and half butter, peanut butter, jam, frozen berries, almond milk, peanut butter bars, sharp white cheddar cheese, salami, hummus, pre-sliced jicama. And then I'm approaching the alcohol section. But I've told myself that I need a break, so I blow by it. No problem. Even though it's flashing me and it's shaking its double D's in my face like a Girls Gone Wild video. But I've lived long enough, and I'm armed with the knowledge that Girls Gone Wild videos are preposterously overrated. Actually, I don't even know if overrated is the right term, because I don't know of anybody who has watched one of those things and been like, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs in, maybe. So I know that they suck because I purchased one once. Or should I say my mother purchased one once, without her knowledge. I was 14 years old. I keep flashing back to my childhood. I was 14 years old. And I purchased a Girls Gone Wild video from my mom's Comcast account while she was asleep. Stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then, so I thought, I didn't really understand how that things that you purchased on Comcast would show up on the bill. I just kind of thought it would just disappear. I would just delete it from the history on the TV and it would be gone. Not how that works. So 2 weeks later, we're sitting in the car, waiting to pick up my little brother from school, and she says, "So we need to talk." And I said, great. Let's do that. And she turned to me with a smirk and she said, so you owe me $15. And this was a couple weeks after I'd purchased it, but I knew immediately what she was talking about. I knew. Before she even could finish the sentence, I knew exactly what she was talking about, and I said, what are you talking about? And so she just looked straight out the front window, and we sat there in the most crippling silence I had ever sat in. And I wanted to die. So anyways, flash forward, we're back at Trader Joe's. And I have blown by the alcohol section. And I'm like, I'm not taking any of you overpriced, softcore porno fucks home with me tonight. And I feel empowered. And I go to checkout, and I thank the nice person for bagging my groceries, and I go home. That part's easy for me. The hard part, step 2, is being able to deny alcohol that is being offered to you freely. That part is hard for me, because it's like when in Lord of the Rings, Galadriel. She can resist the temptation of the ring. She can do it. She doesn't go looking for it. She's very powerful and could likely easily get it if she made that choice. But she's wiser. She knows not to do it. But then Frodo visits her, and he shows it to her and basically offers it to her, because he's like, I'm sick of carrying this shit around. You seem like a well-rounded individual who won't destroy the world with it. So he offers it to her. And then she's like, you offer it to me freely. And then she turns into that big scary shadow witch thing, and she's like, I would be the most powerful, la, 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 la. It's very dramatic and very scary. And then she turns back into normal Galadriel, normal, beautiful Kate Blanchett Galadriel. And she's like, I've passed the test. So that's basically what it's like for me when I'm offered free booze. It's like, that's my struggle. But it's good. It's good to recognize these things about yourself, and it's going to be great. And I am going to have to address this, because I have some dreams, and and should these dreams come true, I have big aspirations, and if I get anywhere close to achieving these things, then I will likely be in more situations where the many vices of life are offered to me freely. And it will be important. I'll have to relearn how to talk, basically. I'll have to relearn the word no, because I'll be like a baby again. And I have to relearn the word no if I want to survive past infancy. But it can be done. So I'm not going to be one of those burnouts, man. It's not happening. Yes is your friend. No is your guardian. Okay? And I had to listen to somebody's wife one time in my apartment freaking out on the phone because her husband was overdosing. It was Halloween. I was in the back alley spray painting my plumb bob, which is remember the game The Sims? So I went as a Sim that year. And the plumb bob is the little diamond thing above their head. And I fastened I made one out of paper, and I fastened it to a hair, what the fuck do you call those things you put on your head? It's like elastic. I don't remember, like it's a headband basically. And so I was in the back alley, and I was spray painting this thing with a gold, like a greenish gold glittery spray paint. And all of a sudden I hear a woman just freaking out on the phone, panicked, saying that her husband was doing cocaine, and now he's out of it, unresponsive. Sure enough, the coroner shows up as I'm finishing my project. And I'd never seen that before. They just carted this body away. And he died. He just died. He was just gone from drugs. That was an important night. It was a very weird night. That was a very weird night all around. Now that I'm reminiscing on it. So the end. I don't really know where to go from there. That seems like an incredibly odd place to end up an episode, but I'm not afraid of odd. I don't think any of you guys are afraid of odd. So let's just do it. Let's be bold. The end. I will say a couple things, though. I'm going to be performing a concert, a live stream concert, on the 20th of this month, a Christmas show. It's going to be all Christmas songs, and it's going to be cute. And if you would like to, hey, what the hell? No, don't do that. Why'd that happen? My exit music started to play. It's like I'm getting cut off by my own podcast. Like I'm giving a speech at some award show and they start playing the music. But this is my shit, so I can't do that to myself. Christmas show, the 20th. Live stream concert, stageit.com, stageit.com. That's where it'll be. If you don't already have an account and you want to watch the show, then go to StageIt, make an account, and send your username to info.taylorjohnwilliams@gmail.com, and I'll send you a free ticket. So anybody listening who has an account or is going to make an account that wants to see the show, send your username. info.taylorjohnwilliams@gmail.com. Have a ticket sent to you. And I've also got a song that's going to be coming out on Christmas. It's a Tom Waits cover. And I think people are not going to like it. But I really like it. And I really like the original. And I really like what we did with it. So it's going to be my Christmas song to the world. Okay. Everybody have a wonderful, safe holiday. I really appreciate you. Thank you for listening. This will probably be the last episode of 2020. So catch you next year with more episodes of Grandma's Favorite Podcast. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.